Hi, I'm Lucas. At 24, I detail cars, living solo on the outskirts of Columbus, Ohio. It's far from glamorous, yet I earn enough and prefer my solitude. Ethan has been a part of my life since high school. We connected through music, vintage trucks, and narrowly escaping chaos just in time. He left for Tennessee years ago, but we still connect, even if it's just brief messages now and then. Last Thursday at 8 p.m., his call shattered the silence. Neither a text nor a voice note. A complete summons. In that instant, a chill ran through me. Something was undeniably wrong. "Bro," he said, voice trembling. "Could you help me out, please? Right now." "Hey, what's going on?" "It's my mother. She called me just moments ago." Weeping, absolutely, completely frantic. Her words were a blur, slipping through my grasp. I called her again, but silence met me. I'm losing it. I rose from the couch. "Is she back?" "Absolutely, I believe so." Her voice hinted at it. "Lucas, I can't make it. Nashville calls to me. Just 20 minutes until you're home. Please, check on her." I plunged in without a second thought. I'm leaving now. I slip into my hoodie, clutch my keys, and step out into the night. The drive was silent, but my thoughts roared. It had been more than a year since I last laid eyes on Claire, his mother. Her kindness was a quiet storm, politeness a mask, and reserve a shield against the world. She never expected to crumble like this. Something was deeply amiss. The porch light flickered to life as I drove in. Silence reigns within. I approached, each step echoing on the gravel beneath me, and then I saw her. My heart raced. She swayed gently on the porch swing, clad in pajama pants and an oversized t-shirt, lost in thought. Unshod, she clutched her knees tightly. Her eyes burned, cheeks glistening with tears. Her hair lay in wild disarray. She appeared shattered. "Claire?" I whispered softly. Her eyes widened in surprise, then a flicker of recognition ignited within her. "Lucas." Her voice shattered. Ethan reached out. Fear gnawed at him. "Are you all right?" Silence hung heavy in the air. She averted her gaze, scrubbed her face with urgency, and rose to her feet. Her body swayed, a fragile echo of exhaustion, as if days without food or sleep had taken their toll. "May I enter?" I pleaded. With a determined nod, she swung the door wide. Silence enveloped the house. Silence screams. Silence reigns. Only solitude remains. The kitchen is silent, a haunting absence of the familiar hum. Only silence, thick with sorrow. I trailed her into the living room. She sank into the chair, gripping the throw pillow tightly, as if it were her only defense. I lingered. His laughter echoed. At last, she spoke. He gathered his belongings and stepped away, leaving everything behind. I remained silent. He confessed he found someone younger, more beautiful. He refused to let his life slip away any longer. After a dozen years. In an instant, her voice shattered once more. She averted her gaze, lost in the world beyond the glass. I believed we were fine. Flawed, yet somehow enough. Now I feel utterly empty. I perched on the armchair's edge, words trapped in my throat. What can you possibly say to that? She met my gaze, tears shimmering in her eyes, and whispered, "Take me away." I blinked, and everything changed. What is happening? Everywhere. I can't stay here any longer. Not here. Not ever. Not tonight. She only sought a fleeting reprieve from the weight of existence. The night bears down, heavy and suffocating. Shattered trust. The home fell silent, its vastness now a chilling void. In that instant, thought vanished. I rose, determination igniting within me. "All right, let's do this," I declared. She nodded, wiped her tears, snatched a sweater, and stepped out with me. We were lost, uncertain of our destination. Just that we were departing. The silence hung heavy between us as we drove. She curled up in the passenger seat, arms clenching around her knees, a fortress of solitude in a world that felt too vast. I stole quick looks, my heart racing, needing to know she was all right. Yet her gaze never found me. Gazed blankly through the glass, the outside world fading into nothingness. I was lost, unsure of where to lead her next. I just drove away. 20 minutes of silence stretched on as I drove into a secluded overlook by Hoover Reservoir. It was close, yet serene. A vast expanse of water, a solitary bench, a handful of trees, and an eerie silence. I parked, silenced the engine, and glanced over. Care to take a quick break? I pleaded. Her faint nod preceded the door's quiet creak as it opened. The air hung cool and damp, a haunting embrace that followed the fading light. She took a few steps to the railing, leaning into its cold embrace. I trailed behind, giving her space to exhale. She inhaled deeply, then released the breath, a moment suspended in time. "We were here once," she whispered. "Long ago. After the fight, he brought me here, claiming he wanted a fresh start. Spoke the perfect words. I trusted him completely." I stayed silent. I couldn't tell if she craved words or simply the comfort of my presence. I poured my soul into him. She pressed on. Ryan, passion, struggle. I let go of what I should have held on to. I convinced myself I was fortunate to have him. Now I feel like a complete idiot. She scrubbed her face again, frustration boiling over, overshadowing any trace of sadness. Her voice trembled, a subtle change that sent chills down my spine. Heartbreak intertwined with a simmering rage. "Can you feel the deepest pain?" she inquired. He didn't shed a single tear. Stood resolute. Walked away as if I was never there. I moved in. "You were everything. You must." Her gaze met mine for the first time since we stepped out. Her eyes shimmered, unwavering yet haunting. "What brings you here, Lucas?" I hesitated. "Ethan wanted me to see how you were doing." "No, that's not it." I remained silent. She shook her head, eyes fixed on the water, lost in thought. "I'm so sorry. I'm a whirlwind of chaos at the moment. There's no need for apologies. You have every right to be." Her laugh was a hollow echo. "Granted." How amusing. For years, I begged for the right to feel. A heavy silence lingered. She whispered again, her voice barely a breath. "Your presence means everything." I nodded, the weight of unspoken words hanging in the air. "Tonight, you can stay away from home. A place to stay awaits us. Find food now. Clear your mind." Her gaze met mine, uncertainty flickering, then a slow nod broke the silence. "Absolutely. Absolutely." All right, we climbed back into the car, hearts racing. I discovered a hidden lakeside, just 15 minutes away, waiting to be embraced. Simple, yet profound. A roadside gem, wooden decks stretching out, the water glistening beneath a heavy sky. We arrived, secured a double room. The receptionist remained silent, no questions uttered. She perched on the bed by the window, eyes locked on the world outside. I got us burgers, fries, and 2 bottles of water. She hardly grazed it, only a few bites taken from the bun. "Are you ready to dive deeper?" I pleaded. "Or simply drift away?" She sank into the headboard, lost in thought. "Perhaps we'll speak tomorrow." Tonight, I crave silence from the chaos within. "Then rest," I urged. "I'll always be here." She nodded, drawing the blanket tightly around her legs. I chose the other bed, collapsing onto it in my clothes. The screen was dark. The lights faded to black. For a few moments, her soft breaths filled the silence. Just as sleep beckoned, her voice reached me, soft and haunting, like a secret escaping her mouth. "Your presence means everything." I stayed silent. I let the silence be my refuge. Pouring down, relentless. The moment my eyes fluttered open, it struck me. Rain tapped softly, a haunting rhythm against the window. It felt light, a quiet nudge that life persisted, vibrant and relentless, even when my heart felt frozen. I rose, heart racing. Claire stirred, her mind racing. She perched on the bed's edge, eyes locked on the window. She had transformed, clad in jeans and a soft gray long-sleeve shirt. Her hair was swept into a loose bun, a whisper of elegance. From behind, she appeared to be a fragile figure, desperately holding on, yet managing to keep it all together. "Morning," I murmured, wiping the remnants of sleep from my eyes. She turned her head, a faint smirk playing on her lips. "Your snoring pierces the silence." A brief laugh escaped me. "Are you certain it wasn't the fridge?" She refused to believe it. "No. Without a doubt, it's you." I stretched, feeling my back snap in 3 sharp bursts. "What's your heart saying?" She rose and approached the window. He hesitated, the silence heavy with unspoken words. "Feeling rough, but perhaps a touch better than before." I nodded, heart racing. "That's profound." A heavy silence lingered. I took my time. If she wanted to talk, she would have. Simple as that. We stepped out of the inn, the clock striking 10. I offered her breakfast or a ride home, but she only shook her head. "Not yet," she whispered. "I'm not ready to return." My gaze locked onto hers. She had stopped crying. Her weariness was palpable, yet her resolve shone through, a silent testament to a choice made and upheld. "Fine," I agreed. "Where to now?" She let it go, a silent storm in her eyes. "Let's hit the road." And that's precisely what we accomplished. Silence enveloped us for the first half hour, heavy and unbroken. The wipers swept rhythmically, rain drumming against the quiet that enveloped us. Yet it felt oddly right. It simply existed. We veered off the main road, desperate for gas, after an hour of relentless driving. I filled the tank as she disappeared into the store. She emerged, 2 coffees in hand, a bag of trail mix clutched tightly. "For the journey," she whispered. We drove on, the world blurring past us. She rolled down the window, her arm reaching out into the rushing wind. Her hair whipped wildly in the wind. Her gaze met mine, and for the first time, her smile was genuine. "Are you always this skilled at vanishing without a trace?" I couldn't believe it. "Not even close. I often map out my lunch breaks." "Well," she said, leaning back, her voice heavy with unspoken thoughts. "We both need a taste of wandering, don't you think?" At noon, we found ourselves in Hocking Hills. It just happened. The signs emerged suddenly, and I veered off the path. We discovered a narrow trailhead, parked, and set off on foot. The rain had ceased, yet the world remained soaked, heavy with the scent of earth and leaves. Silence enveloped us as we hiked, each step heavy with unspoken words. We walked together, the silence heavy between us. It was steep in parts, yet manageable. At last, we stood at a clearing, gazing down into the vast valley below. Endless trees reaching for the sky, fog spiraling around them, haunting like smoke. Claire teetered at the brink of the railing. Her arms opened wide, as if grasping for the very essence of existence. "I haven't been me in years," she whispered. I stayed silent. No words could capture the weight of the moment. We perched on a weathered bench, the world fading around us. She spoke with urgency this time. "It's not the betrayal that cuts deep." That was already addressed. Yet, what of the years that came before? Respect fades, piece by piece, vanishing within the weight of another's hopes. I fought to be smaller, quieter, more composed. She spoke, desperate to keep him there. He walked away, leaving everything behind. She faced me. For so long, I faded into the background. Lucas. I lost track of the moment I faded away. It struck a deep chord within me. I was silent, lost in the weight of unspoken words. I heard it all. We lingered there for 1 more hour. We climbed back into the car, racing against the sinking sun. We discovered a snug, inviting lodge. A place with pinewood walls where old quilts whisper stories of the past. Simple, yet comforting. Protected. We summoned food to the room, anticipation crackling in the air. 2 sodas and a pizza. Her laughter echoed, sharp and unexpected, as the delivery guy wished her a romantic getaway. I insisted it wasn't true, but he just winked and strolled away. We sat cross-legged on our beds, eyes fixed on the flickering fire in the stone fireplace, the warmth wrapping around us like a fragile embrace. She pulled a deck of cards from her purse, and we dove into Go Fish, lost in the thrill of our youth. It felt effortless, almost too simple. After the third round, I felt her gaze on me. "What is happening?" I asked, a half-smile playing on my lips. She glanced down, then met his gaze once more. "Your kindness shines. And enduring." I never knew the depth of my longing for it. I was at a loss for words. Our eyes locked, a moment suspended in time. Then she whispered, her voice barely a breath. "You remind me of my essence, of what it means to be alive. More than a mere afterthought." I rose and approached the window. She trailed behind, then took her place next to me. The woods loomed, shadowy and silent, drenched from the day's downpour. "I have no idea what this is," she whispered. "I can't bear to spoil this." In this moment, being here is everything. It's a feeling I haven't had in ages. I faced her. "Same here." She edged nearer. Gradually, calm prevails, tension fades. Only intimacy. Our fingers intertwined. She leaned in, and in that moment, our lips met. Not for desire, not for pleasure, but for the bond of our shattered souls. Devoid of solace, that night we shared the same bed, hearts racing, breaths mingling. She nestled against me, her head resting on my chest, fingers dancing in soft circles on my arm. We never spoke the word love. It was never that. It was solace. It was the rush of humanity returning. As she slipped into sleep, her voice barely a breath, she murmured, "Thank you for showing me the essence of being alive." I rose before she stirred, the silence heavy with anticipation. The room lay in shadows. Heavy curtains blocked the sun, and for a moment I lay still, captivated by the sound of her breath. She lay serene, curled beneath the quilt, hair tousled, face gentle and at ease. It felt like a dream, surreal and distant. We had escaped it all. Burdened by responsibilities and pain, haunted by the past, I discovered a bubble untouched by the world. Silently, I slipped from bed, donned a hoodie, and stepped onto the wooden deck, the woods beckoning in the darkness. The air bit sharply, a chilling embrace. Birds sang a haunting melody from the depths of the trees. For the first time in ages, I felt unanchored, free from the weight of obligation. I stood frozen, gasping for air. She emerged after 20 minutes, cocooned in a blanket, cradling 2 steaming mugs of coffee. One for her, one for me. A delicate balance, a silent promise. "You vanished," she whispered. I hesitated to disturb your peace. She pressed the mug into my hands, her body brushing against the railing. "This silence is hauntingly unfamiliar." I nodded, heart racing. "It's beautiful." She took a slow sip of her coffee, the warmth enveloping her like a fleeting embrace. "It's unsettling. It's as if we've shared a lifetime, yet this moment feels like our first encounter." "I understand." The silence stretched on. She gazed into my eyes and asked, "Do you regret what happened last night?" I couldn't believe it. "Absolutely not. Not at all." "Neither do I." Her smile pierced through the silence. Not the weary, strained expression I had witnessed on her face yesterday. This one hit hard, softly powerful. "Here." We chose to linger just one more day, not out of obligation, but from a shared fear of shattering this fragile moment. We ventured deep into the woods, spoke of trivialities, beloved films, 90s music, awful first dates. I found myself laughing far more than I anticipated. We paused at a tiny waterfall, its beauty captivating us. She shed her shoes, hiked up her jeans, and plunged into the icy water. "You're out of your mind," I exclaimed. She drenched me. "Step forward if you dare." I did it. The cold bit fiercely. We lingered for just 2 minutes, then dashed back to the rocks, shivering and laughing like children. She reclined on the cold stone, the sun's warmth enveloping her face. "I feel alive, like I'm 25 again," she whispered. Or perhaps simply not 45. "You don't look 45, I blurted out, the words escaping before I could stop them. She opened one, her gaze piercing through me. "Watch out, you're effortlessly drawing me in." We shared a laugh, but silence soon enveloped us. Time hung in the balance, a heartbeat away from everything changing. Two souls, lost in the vast emptiness, bare feet sinking into the damp earth. Sun kisses our skin. No past to hinder us. Later, at the lodge, we ordered dinner from a nearby diner. Golden fried chicken, creamy mashed potatoes, sweet pie. We dined in bed, a movie flickering softly behind us. The movie is a blur, lost in the shadows of my mind. Her shoulder pressed against mine, hands brushing every few minutes, a silent check if it was still okay. As the film concluded, shadows deepened, and the flames flickered weakly. She glanced my way and whispered, "You make me feel like I'm losing it again." "You must," I insisted. "You always have." "I refuse to let this be just a dream," she declared. "I refuse to fake a reality that isn't ours. I can't bear to release this, no matter how tangled it gets." "I'm not asking for eternity," I insisted. "I want to be here with you, for as long as we can hold on." She leaned in, kissing me slow, certain, anchored. That night felt unlike the first. It transcended comfort and pain. They chose one another, knowing the weight of their decision. We understood it was fleeting. We understood we were never meant for tomorrow. Yet, we understood that this fleeting, exquisite moment belonged to us. We lingered in the night, whispers and kisses igniting the air, our bodies entwined. She pressed her forehead to mine, whispering, "I needed this more than I realized." Not the intimacy, a longing for existence. It clung on tightly. "Every day, you deserve that," I said. "I've lost touch with the essence of being a woman. Never a wife. Never a mother. Only a woman." I stayed silent. I drew her in tight. We drifted into slumber, entwined in each other's embrace. Silence reigns. Time stands still. Stay a moment longer. Two souls isolated, granting each other the chance to mend. We departed the lodge 2 days later. Neither of us spoke it, but the weight of it hung between us. The conclusion. It lingered, thick and heavy, shrouding everything in uncertainty. Light yet impossible to ignore. Silence reigned. Silence reigns. We shared a silent truth. Our connection thrived in isolation. That bubble was destined to burst. We packed in silence, folding clothes with care, tucking toothbrushes into bags as if each action held weight. Claire lingered by the mirror, her fingers dancing through her hair, her earrings glinting, lost in her own reflection. "I look different," she whispered. I gazed upward. "You must." Joyful, her smile flickered, shadowed by an unspoken sorrow. Perhaps a bit brighter. I'm finally me again. Or perhaps a part of me I lost track of. We left, just after 10 a.m. The woman at the front desk offered a knowing smile, yet we remained unmoved. Reality was pulling us in, relentless and unforgiving. Silence enveloped the drive home. Silence reigns. The road hums, our minds race. Claire gazed out the window, and I allowed it. I hesitated, unwilling to shatter the stillness with meaningless chatter. This silence was holy. As we arrived at her house, she sat still, frozen in the moment. She sat there, hands folded in her lap, staring at the porch as if it were a stranger's. "I can't go in yet," she whispered. I nodded, heart racing. "I'm here for you, no matter how long it takes." After a heartbeat, she unbuckled her seatbelt. "Absolutely not. I must confront it. I must." She opened the door, stepped out, and froze. "Will you step inside with me?" "Absolutely." Inside, everything remained just as we had abandoned it. The air was charged, electric. Light, yet impactful. Light pierced through the lingering shadows of sorrow. She moved through the living room, fingers grazing the couch, lingering on the picture frames, memories flooding back. She faced me, her eyes ablaze. "I've been thinking," she whispered. "All that matters." "Absolutely." This was real, and I can't deny it. I can't bring myself to do it. Yet, I understand this cannot be molded into something it isn't and still expect it to work. I nodded, heart racing. I understand. She inhaled sharply. You reignited my spirit. Desperate need. Alive. I can't express my gratitude for that. Yet, deep down, I realize this can't continue. I moved in. You are not obligated to me. It's not about debt, she whispered. It's a matter of truth. I craved your presence. You came. You chose to remain. You gifted me a treasure. Now I must rise alone. My gaze locked onto hers. Gazed deeply. She was unbreakable. Unwavering. Her eyes held no tears now. They were unmistakable. Laser-focused. I understand, I replied. She grasped my hand, lingering in the warmth of the connection. This will haunt me, she breathed. Everything, each heartbeat. Same here. She wrapped her arms around me tightly, close, comforting, ultimate. She leaned in, her lips brushing my cheek, a fleeting moment that ignited a storm within me. I will be all right now. I trusted her completely. I stepped to the door, glancing back for a final moment. In the living room, she stood still, arms crossed, a faint smile playing on her lips. I jumped into my car, heart racing, and sped home. The roads appeared unchanged, yet within me, everything had transformed. Not in a sorrowful manner, not in a way that feels defeated. Simply unique. I had tasted something profound and fleeting, and now it slipped away. Ethan reached out the very next day. Only a single line. Thanks for the review. Her words echoed with gratitude. You made a difference. I stayed silent. Words failed to capture it all in a single message. Perhaps one day, I'll reveal it all to him. Or perhaps I simply wouldn't. A week later, a letter arrived, heavy with unspoken words. Address lost, no way back. A single folded note lies within. You made me feel alive again. I still have time left. That love, though fleeting, is a treasure to embrace. Grateful beyond words, forever. I folded the note, heart racing, and tucked it away in the back of my drawer. Silence has stretched between us since that moment, and that's all right. What we shared was never destined to endure. For 2 weeks, it consumed me entirely.